In the last segment, I did the foundation. So now is the time when I can look again at my face and say, where do I need just a touch of concealer to help cover some blemishes and maybe lighten up these dark circles. The foundation, you can see it did a pretty good job of doing that covering. But I'm going to use just a little tiny bit more to do my under eye circles and some of my blemishes. So here, I'm just going to let it kind of sit there before I move it around. I'm going to let it sort of set, so to speak. Before you can start painting with the color, the powder, that kind of stuff, this part has to be set, and that's why if you're not using a cream to powder, then you need to set it with some powder. That's what I'm going to do in the next little segment. So this part here is the concealer part. If you want to lighten up some of these little, if you're getting a little bit of wrinkles, sometimes I put some there too for like a little highlighter. And then you never like rub this all the way in, because that loses the whole point of what the concealer is. Let it sit there and do its job. In which case you're just gonna, we call this stippling. Just pat it and feather the edges so that you don't see any harsh lines. That's the cool to makeup that looks natural, is you just don't see any lines. It's just this nice healthy glow and just a hint of color in certain places. And I'm just going to pat, just pat, 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 pat. Notice too that I'm using my ring fingers here because they are my most delicate fingers. I can't, they're the least strong. But see, just that one little thing, see my little under eye circles just disappear? But if I had any, like sometimes I get a little breakout of cold sores or something, after I put the primer and stuff over that, I can cover them, you can't even see them. My scar is all but disappeared. Whatever, if you have uneven, like if you have some, there's a condition, if you have rosacea or any of those kinds of things, this is the time when, if you're going to do concealer, you just pat it in place and then feather the edges so there's no lines. Now I'm ready for powder.